metabosulfite. What are these things? If you've ever eaten an Almond Joy, you've eaten these things. I love Almond Joys, so today we're gonna be making a healthier version of the Almond Joy. We're actually gonna be making it 2 ways, and of course it's vegan, and we always use organic ingredients. And make sure you stick around till the end of this video because I'm gonna be showing you a super secret, bite-sized, very impressive treat. So stick around for that. It's sure to impress your friends at your next party or get together, or it's sure to impress yourself when you're sitting watching Netflix. If you're new to this channel, we would love to have you as a part of our community. We're all here to learn from one another. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button so you can get alerts of our weekly videos. And please, if you find this video helpful, give it a like. Thank you so much. Let's do this. You're gonna need a pan. I'm using an 8 by 8.5 inch, but anything in that realm will work. And then parchment paper or wax paper, and we'll sit that aside for a little. Let's make the filling to our coconut bars. We're gonna go ahead and take these ingredients and get them into a food processor. Just put them all in there together. Coconut oil, the syrup. You can also use agave syrup or honey. Honey's not considered vegan, or date syrup. Any type of syrup will work. All right, let's get this blended. It could take between 10 and 25 seconds depending on your food processor. Push the sides down in between your blending to make sure everything's getting blended. You're looking for a pretty grainy, oily texture. Grainy and oily, and you're good to go. Grab that pan you set aside and get this mixture into it. The parchment paper doesn't have to fit exactly, I just kind of pour it all in there. Now just start spreading it out with a spatula. Use a spatula that has some movement to it, that way you can really start moving the mixture around. It's super important that you get it very packed tightly, and then also make sure the corners aren't super thin. Make sure they're evenly thick with everything else. This could take some time. Be patient. Make sure you get it packed tightly in the corners, not thin, nice and equal. We're going to put this in the freezer for about 15 minutes. Out of the freezer, we're going to take these out here. I'm going to cut these in between 2 and 3 inches long and 1 and 1.5 inches wide. You can kind of cut these whatever size you'd like. Just keep in mind it is the size of the candy bar you're going to make, and if it's too big, it'll fall apart. If you froze this for too long, it might break, but you can just use those broken pieces as the shape of your candy bar. Back into the freezer it all goes. With a pot and a bowl, we're going to do the double broiler method. We're going to put in our ingredients. It's going to be 1 cup of vegan chocolate chips, 2 teaspoons of coconut oil, and just a dash or 2 of sea salt. Get that all melted until there's absolutely no clumps. Taking the bars out of the freezer, they should be frozen. So you want to dip each one into chocolate on one side, scraping off any extra chocolate. This can get messy, so have a napkin nearby. If these aren't completely frozen, they're going to fall apart. You may have a couple pieces fall off here and there, and that's totally fine. Just coat the whole bottom with chocolate and then set them on a separate tray with another piece of wax or parchment paper. Let's get these almonds on these bad boys now. Literally dip the almond into the chocolate and stick it on. Super easy. Do it to all of them. Alright, well, I almost forgot we're doing these 2 ways. So the other way we'll do with this one right here. You basically coat the entire thing in chocolate. And then you put your almonds on. Kind of have to get that chocolate over the almonds. You can use a spoon. Sprinkle a little salt, and then back in the freezer while we get our chocolate ready. I'm using a Ziploc bag this time, but you could also use a pastry bag. Go ahead and spoon chocolate into the bag. And then you're gonna cut just a little dot on the corner, very small little spot. Now just squeeze these on all of them. If you squeeze too hard, you'll break the bag more and it'll go everywhere like on my last one. Time for the bite-sized surprise I promised you. So I had put aside a little bit of the coconut filling at the beginning, and I'm gonna make them into little balls. I'm gonna put an almond in the middle of one, just the coconut filling in the middle of one, and then like 9 raisins that I smashed together really tight, and then put the coconut filling around that. Out of the freezer, we have our little frozen coconut balls. We're going to dip in a leftover chocolate. If you don't have any leftover chocolate, just add a couple more chocolate chips and melt them down like you did before. Just going to roll all these in chocolate and put them on some parchment paper. All right, out of the freezer's getting a lot of love today. There'll be a little bit of chocolate around these, so go ahead and get a little knife and cut them all off. Cut all the little edges off. All right, so after a lot of back and forth from the freezer, we are finished. We have our Almond Joy in 2 ways, as well as our little bite-sized treat. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. Please comment below. Let me know if you try this out and how you like it. And the question of the day is, what would you put inside of the bite-sized treat? Let us know below. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video. See you next time. Question of the day. Question of the day. We don't need all that. Nobody needs that.